Well, I think I would want to say something again. This day is a day of grieving. This day is a day that our brothers and sisters were murdered in cold blood. This day was a day that young women, mothers, were raped. This day was the day that indiscriminately members of the Anua community were displaced and their homes burned to the ground, their farms destroyed. I'm pretty aware that as someone who have for more than 20 years have a struggle against the injustice that was taking place in Gambela, against the Anuak in particular, against the day that today we are grieving and remembering those victims that fallen during that time. I'm pretty aware what the role of the TPLF is. I'm here to clarify to those who want to mislead, who want to confuse the community and the society of the Anua as though Abiy Ahmed and his crony, and also Omodo Julubub and his team in Gambela were sent, were clean from the crimes that was committed on that ugly day in our history. It is not my view on this particular platform that I said to grieve with you all together. It is not my purpose to let the TPLF escape for the atrocities or for the crimes that they have committed against our own people. What I say, and I'm sure many of you would agree with me, TPLF was not alone. TPLF was a part of the coalition of PPRDF that committed crime against innocent Ethiopians, wherever they are. TPLF was not alone when they took and dispossessed our land, when they displaced our community. TPLF was not alone. It was with the rest of political parties, members, the coalition that led Ethiopia for 27 years. And it is with this in mind that Ethiopians across the country came together and demanded change, which brought Abiy Ahmed to power. And Abiy Ahmed sought forgiveness for the crimes that EPRDF committed. And that ticket was not only for a specific group, but for the entire Ethiopians who were part and parcels of the system that was corrupt, that murdered, that killed our innocent Ethiopians. And it is this that the chapter is being turned around as if TPLF is the only criminal party in Ethiopia. And this is what brought us to this level of instability. This has brought us to these atrocities that is taking place in Ethiopia today. Ethiopians are dying. Women are raped. Civilians are displaced. Students are denied the right to go to school in a normal way. So in this game of political competition, it is those innocent civilians that are dying. But to blame crimes that were committed by a group who were in power is wrong and should be corrected. I also see that some of you on the social media want to paint a picture as if the Ethiopian highlanders in Gambela who participated in this crime against innocent Anuak were pro-TPLF. And I think that is why I say TPLF has become a scapegoat for those people who hate the TPLF, for those people who join the banner of those unfinished conflict, unfinished war in Ethiopia. But as truth, as a matter of fact, we know that the Ethiopian highlanders in Gambela who participated were not militias of TPLF. They were not trained. They were not educationally inculcated, politically inculcated to be members of TPLF. So it is important, ladies and gentlemen, that we are not going to be confused with the fact. Let the fact speak. TPLF was part of the killing. TPLF was part of human rights abuses in Ethiopia, but it was not the only one. Let's not forget, Abiy was in charge of the security. And this is the institution that was mistreating fellow Ethiopians. This was the institution that was indiscriminately arresting citizens. This was the institution that was killing innocent civilians just for prompt-up charges. So Abiy Ahmed cannot be free, cannot be clean from the crimes that EPRDF, including TPLF, committed. So he was in charge. He should have actually been made accountable for these crimes that were committed against innocent Ethiopians. Similarly, those in Gambela, including the current president Umaru Julubu, who were silent at the time or did not even use his office to take actions against those perpetrators, those people who committed crimes. Also, the fact that he was in charge of anti-corruption, a system that was completely depriving Ethiopians vital resources to develop themselves, cannot escape from the responsibility of what happened. So today, as I speak, and the reason why I came here is to grieve with you together, to pay tribute to those people who were murdered in cold blood, to also comfort one another, to share the memories that I had on this specific day, to tell you also how much time I have spent to campaign on this issue, which is close to my heart. And as a matter of fact, I think this day will always remain with us. As I said, I have two important things that really comes into my mind when this particular day comes. As I said, it was my graduation day, and at the same time, it is this day that has actually put me into the map of international arena. because of the human rights activism I took. Of course, so many people, because of my human rights activism, are today part and parcels of this human rights activism. So what I'm trying to say here, gentlemen and ladies, is just for you to come out of this misconception. Accept the reality that crimes have been committed against our people. We suffered, and we still will continue to suffer under this current regime. But today they are using this day as a propaganda tool, which is positive to us because we want our suffering, the killing that took place 18 years ago, to come into the attention of the international community, because most of these people who are now trying to use this day 18 years ago were not party to this campaign. They didn't want, because they fear that the Ethiopian image will be destroyed. But today, because of the TPLF image that they want to paint, they're out to campaign vigorously to use our fellow Anuak to tell their story, which I applaud. I like that. And this is the beginning of the chapter that we want to do. Apart from that, I think there is nothing else to tell the other way, that Abiy is clean from the human rights violation that was committed against our own people. So here is the truth. These people in power who assume power, who want to detach themselves by creating a political party called Prosperity Party, they were part and parcels of the APRDF that committed crimes against our own people, against other Ethiopians. As we speak, genocide is going on in Tigray, in Benishangul Gumuz against the Gumuz and the Barza. As we speak, genocide is going on against the Oromos. As we speak, genocide is going on against the Command and the Agaw. As we speak, genocide is going on against other Ethiopians. And Ethiopia is a country of all. Ethiopia is a country that was not created by consent. Ethiopia is an empire, and that empire should be built on equality and justice. And this justice and equality can only come when we all can be part and parcels of that system. Military might in this 21st century cannot help it. 21st century has a different political makeup. Ethiopians across the country are aware of the history of this country. So this country should not be built in the empire model that we were incorporated into as we speak. Let's learn of living together. Let's learn of protecting one another. So minority protection is essential in this country. A country, a sovereign country that does not want minority or does not protect and promote the rights of minority cannot survive, because it is this minority that is the conscience of the states. So with this, I bring my program to conclusion. So I appreciate for your time, for listening. I appreciate for those people also who wanted to contribute in whichever way, whether it is negative or positive. I think we are here to build this society together. So the Gambela community, the Anuak, and the rest should be made aware that the current regime is not going to change anything in your life. And we have run programs on this indigenous media program several times. saying that this racism and discrimination in Ethiopia should not be condoned. We should actually condemn it, because we are being excluded from power. We are being excluded from everything that is being done in Ethiopian empire. It is our right to demand. It is our right to say that enough is enough. We are part and parcels of this empire. We have the contribution. We have the right to say what is being done against us is not right. So with this, I conclude and thank you for your time. So we can come to this discussion another time. Thank you.